Hello, Coach Holmes here, and today we're going to be talking about combinations and permutations. And what do we mean by that is that we're trying to put things in order or out of order, but without replacement. So basically, we're just trying to figure out the number of different ways to put things in a group or in order. Now, combinations is basically a selection of objects without regard to order. Okay? So with combination, it doesn't matter the order in which someone is selected or in a group or whatever. It doesn't matter the order. For example, if I'm trying to pick 5 random people, it doesn't matter who gets picked first. What matters is who's in the group. That's combinations. Permutation is a selection of objects with regards to order. So it actually does matter what the order is. Probably one of the most primary examples is like a race. You know, you have 10 people racing and you want to figure out who's in first, second, or third. That's permutation. You want to figure out who finished the race first all the way to last. That's permutation. Now, in order to find it in a calculator, what we want to do is we want to press the number. Well, we're going to hold off on the calculator part because we actually have to have a number first that depends. But first, let's figure out whether it's a combination or a permutation. There are 3 shirts, 2 pair of pants. All right? So it doesn't matter what the order is as far as it doesn't matter what the order is as far as shirts and shorts. What matters is a combination that you have. What kind of combinations could you make? So it's a combination type of situation. Now, 5 students racing. Again, I already gave this example as a permutation. If you have 5 people racing, what's the order in which they're going to finish? Okay? Now, a committee of 3 students is to be selected from a class of 20. So what we want to think about is, does it matter the order in which they're selected? Not really. They're in the same group. They have the same responsibilities. So it's nothing really different. So we have a combination. Then we have a class of 20 that is selecting a president, a vice president, and a recorder. Well, this time, even though they're not in a specific order to say, but there's different power. You know, a president has different power than a vice president and a recorder does. So the order actually does matter because one could be a president, the other one could be a vice. That same person basically can be president or vice president or a recorder. Okay, so it may not be like an order as in first or second, but it does matter who's in what position. That's what makes it different. That's what makes it permutation. Now, next, we want to find how many different ways can you arrange the letters factor, okay? So if I have the word factor and I just throw it up in the air and just try to rearrange it or whatever, how many different ways can I rearrange that word or those letters really? And it's really simple, but we got to use our calculator for this, okay? So first off, I have 6 letters. Now, this is what order matters because I can do an A first, then C, then R, then T, then O, then F. Or I can rearrange it to where it's, F first, C second, T, O, R, A, whatever the case may be. So the order actually does matter because as soon as I use the F, then the A will follow through and then so on and so forth. So this is a permutation. But I got 6 letters to rearrange. I'm rearranging all 6 letters. Now, in order to do this in a calculator, the first thing I gotta do is I gotta press the number, which, by the way, before I slow myself down, I gotta do it in NPR, where N is the total and R is the number of what we want. Okay? So for example, we want all 6 letters. Okay? We want all 6. So in this case, it's going to be the number, math. You're going to press the arrow 1, 2, 3 times. You're going to press the arrow 3 times. And then you're going to go to number 2 for NPR and number 3 for NCR. And we'll talk about NCR later on. And then you press the number again. Whatever the number you're using, for R, you'll use that number. So in this case right here, I want to use 6, math, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 2. So I got the P, but then I got to finish it off with a 6 because that's how many I want in the word. I'm going to press enter, and that gives me 720. So there's 720 different combinations or permutations for the rearranging the letters for words factor. Now, how many ways can you choose 2 jelly beans from a bag of 7? So again, doesn't matter if the red comes out first versus the blue. Not really. The order does not matter. So this is a combination. But I have to think about this. There's 7 in a bag, and I'm choosing 2. So remember, 7 in a bag. I got a combination, so I'm going down to 3. And I'm picking out 2. And that's going to give me 21. So there's 21 different ways, 21 different combinations out of those things. So not that many. But now, we want to figure out how many ways can a 6 racers finish a race for first, second, third, or fourth. So now we're worried about order, okay? We're worried about the order in which someone is selected or finished. So this is a permutation. Now there's 6 racers and 4 finish, top 4 finish. We were looking for the top 4 finish. So again, we want to do 6 racers. We want to go to permutation for number 2. And then we're looking for top 4 finish. Press enter. And that gives me 360. So there's 360 different ways of getting the top 4. Okay? Lastly, we want to figure out who the president and the vice president will be in a class of 10. So, again, does the order really matter? Technically, yes, because president is one different position compared to a vice president. They both have different responsibilities. They're not created equal. They're not the same. So the order does matter. So this is a permutation. It's a 10 class with 2 spots. So again, I'm going to do 10 with the permutation for it. 2 spots for president and vice president. I press enter, and there's 90. So there's 90 different ways to fill in the role for president and vice president. Okay? So there's 90 different ways. So the importance of it is that we actually just kind of know how many different outcomes there could be, so that way one day we can actually figure out the probability of being selected. Thank you and have a good day.